The grand hall of the Galactic Council echoed with cold laughter. High above the swirling stars, far from the blue and green world they mocked, the alien leaders sat in sleek, shining seats carved from the bones of ancient starships. Their faces were a blend of sharp angles and smooth curves, alien in every way, but their expressions held a terrible pride. At the center of the room, a giant hologram spun slowly. It showed a small planet, barely a dot in the vast galaxy Earth. The council's mood was clear: amusement, superiority, and complete disdain. "Look at this," sneered Lord Zarthon, his many eyes narrowing. "A primitive world filled with fragile creatures who still fight with sticks and fire. They have no place among the great civilizations of the galaxy." The others chuckled, a harsh, metallic sound. "How do they even survive?" asked Queen Valara with a cruel smile. "They have no fleet worth mentioning, no advanced weapons. Their technology is laughable." Across the room, the youngest council member, a being named Karesh, shook his head. "Why waste resources on such a weak species? Should we not simply declare them irrelevant?" Lord Zarthon's eyes flashed. "No, Karash. I say we invade. Show them the true meaning of power. Let their world burn and their people scatter like the dust they are."
Ow.
The decision was unanimous. The council's pride would not allow them to ignore this tiny blue planet any longer. Earth would be their next conquest, a simple game of power for them. The great alien armada began to assemble in the dark void near Earth's solar system. Their ships were massive, like moving cities, armed with weapons that could tear entire moons apart. Far below, on Earth, life continued unaware. Cities bustled, with millions of people rushing through their daily routines. Children laughed in schoolyards, workers finished their shifts, and families gathered for evening meals. The world was busy with its small worries: politics, climate, technology, and dreams. But they had no idea that a shadow loomed above them, a shadow ready to swallow them whole. The news from space was confusing and ignored at first. Strange signals, picked up by satellites, unknown ships, detected near Earth's orbit. Some governments scrambled jets and launched satellites, trying to make sense of the mystery. But for most people, it felt like a distant story, something out of a science fiction book. Then, the skies darkened. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, millions across Earth looked up to see a fleet of enormous ships blocking the stars. They hovered silently, casting long shadows over cities and oceans. Panic spread quickly. Governments declared emergencies. Military forces scrambled jets and missiles, but the ships made no move, no attack. From the largest alien ship, a voice boomed through all Earth's communication channels. It was deep, cold, and full of contempt. "People of Earth, you are weak. Your world is small and unimportant. We are the Galactic Council, rulers of this sector. Come not to negotiate, but to claim what is ours by right. Surrender now, and your destruction will be swift." The message was broadcast worldwide. For the first time, Earth knew it faced a threat far beyond its understanding. But instead of panic, something unexpected happened. People looked at each other with new determination. The leaders of Earth's nations gathered in emergency meetings, trying to find a way to respond. Military commanders met with scientists, and engineers cannot match their firepower, said General Harper, the head of Earth's combined forces. Their ships can destroy cities from orbit.
Ow.
Our weapons are no match. But Earth's leaders did not give up. They began to prepare. Secret weapons projects that had long been hidden were activated. Scientists revealed new technologies: energy shields, cloaked fighters, artificial intelligence, drones, things that seemed like fantasy only years before. The world united in a way never seen. Putting aside old conflicts to fight a common enemy, the alien fleet began its assault. Massive energy beams fired from the ships, striking cities and military bases. The ground shook, buildings crumbled, and fires spread. The humans fought back with what they had, but their weapons barely scratched the alien shields. Many ships were lost in the opening attacks, and the alien fleet laughed at the sight. "It is almost too easy," said Lord Zarthon, watching the battle from his throne room. These humans are no threat. Their weapons are toys, their soldiers mere insects. Yet even as they mocked, something changed on Earth. The attacks forced humans to fight harder, to discover hidden strengths. Behind the chaos, secret bases. Launched fighters cloaked in darkness. AI drones swarmed alien ships, disabling their systems. Engineers worked feverishly to repair damaged defenses. On the front lines, human soldiers fought with fierce courage. They knew they faced extinction, but their will would not break. Every loss hardened their resolve. Every small victory brought hope. In the heart of this resistance stood Captain Elena Reyes, soldier known for her bravery and sharp mind. She commanded one of Earth's newest fighter squadrons. Elena's ship was small but fast, equipped with experimental weapons that the aliens had never seen. During a critical battle near the city of New York, Elena's squadron ambushed an alien cruiser. The fight was brutal, with ships colliding in bursts of light and fire. Elena led her team with skill, dodging beams and firing precise shots. Against all odds, they crippled the cruiser's engines, forcing it to retreat. News of the victory spread like wildfire. For the first time, humans saw a chance not just to survive, but to fight back. The alien mockery began to falter as doubts crept into their ranks. But the council was not yet finished. They sent their deadliest commander, a warlord named Zarkthal, to crush Earth's resistance once and for all. Zarkthal was known for his ruthless tactics and unmatched skill. He viewed humans as nothing more than ants to be squashed. When Zarkthal's fleet entered Earth's orbit, the sky burned with energy blasts. Cities were leveled and millions fled underground. Yet even in the face of such destruction, humanity refused to surrender. In hidden bunkers and war rooms, humans planned their next move. Scientists decoded alien technology captured from downed ships. Soldiers trained harder, learning to use every weapon to its fullest. People from all walks of life joined the fight: engineers, doctors, civilians, willing to risk everything. The stage was set for a war unlike any the galaxy had seen. The aliens had mocked Earth as weak and backward, but Earth was awakening. Beneath the surface of their fragile planet, a fire burned, a fire of revenge, courage, and hope. As the alien fleet prepared to launch their final assault, Earth's defenders were ready to answer. Not with words, but with fire. The sky above Earth was still heavy with the smoke of battle, but the planet's defenders no longer trembled in fear. The aliens had come with fire and scorn, believing Earth to be weak and defenseless. Yet in the darkest hour, humanity had shown a hidden strength no one expected. What had seemed like a simple world filled with weak creatures was now a battlefield where fire and steel clashed in deadly harmony. The human secret weapons were no longer just whispers in dark labs. They had become the sharp edge of Earth's. Resistance Captain Elena Reyes stood on the command deck of her squadron's mothership, staring at the glowing hologram of the alien fleet. The ships were vast, like floating fortresses, but something had changed in their formation. The once proud and confident aliens now moved more cautiously, as if unsure of what the humans were capable of. Elena's heart beat fast, but she felt a deep calm. She knew their secret weapons were the key to turning the tide. Behind closed doors, Earth scientists worked night and day. They had developed weapons far beyond what any enemy could guess. Energy shields wrapped their ships in invisible armor, deflecting powerful beams. Cloaking devices hid fighters in the darkness of space, allowing surprise attacks. Advanced artificial intelligence drones fought alongside human pilots, learning and adapting faster than any alien could imagine. It was technology born from years of hidden research, fueled by a fierce will to survive. The aliens, for all their power and experience, had not prepared for this. Their mockery had blinded them. They had seen Earth as a joke, a simple prize to claim, but now the hunters were becoming the hunted. The human fleets moved like shadows, striking suddenly and disappearing before the aliens could respond. During a critical battle near the ruins of what was once a great city, Elena led her squadron in a daring raid. The enemy cruiser they attacked was one of the largest in the alien fleet. its hull thick and bristling with weapons.
Alena's.
But Elena's fighters were faster and smarter. Using their cloaking technology, they slipped through the alien patrols, attacking. From blind spots, no alien pilot had expected. Explosions tore through the cruiser's engines, sending it drifting helplessly through space. The victory was not just a blow to the enemy, it was a spark of hope for Earth's defenders. Messages of the battle spread quickly, lifting spirits on the battered planet below. People who had hidden in fear began to believe that they could fight back and win. But the Alien Council was not idle. From their dark command ship, Lord Zarthon watched the news with growing anger. His laughter from the first meeting had turned to fury. "How dare these humans fight back?" he growled. "We will crush them beneath our boots." He called forth Zarthal, his deadliest warlord, and gave him new orders. "This rebellion must be ended. Take your fleet and hunt down every human ship. Show them there is no escape." Zarthal's fleet was a shadow of death. The ships were faster, stronger, and packed with weapons designed for total destruction. Where Elena's squadron was light and fast, Zarthal's was brutal and overwhelming. The two forces clashed in the blackness above Earth. The battle was fierce and chaotic. Beams of energy streaked through space, ships exploded and brilliant. Flashes and debris floated like deadly stars. But even in this madness, the humans fought with cunning and heart. They moved as one, their pilots trusting each other with their lives. Elena's ship was hit during the fight, shaking violently, but she refused to fall back. Her squadron pressed the attack, diving into the heart of the enemy formation. Using their advanced weapons, they disabled several enemy ships, forcing Zarthal's fleet to pull back. The victory was hard-won, but it showed the galaxy that Earth was no longer a weak target. The humans had answered the aliens' mockery, not with surrender, but with fire. Yet victory came with a price. The alien attacks had devastated many cities, and millions of humans had died. The planet was scarred and weary. Still, the spirit of the people burned brighter than ever. In the secret war rooms beneath the surface, scientists and leaders gathered. They studied captured alien technology and worked to improve their own. Every failure taught them something new. Every loss strengthened their resolve. Alina met with these leaders, her face tired but determined. "We can't stop now," she said. "They think this is a game, but it's war. We must fight smarter, move faster, and strike harder." Her words carried weight. The people listened because she was one of them, a symbol of Earth's fierce heart. The Alien Council, meanwhile, faced growing unrest. Their leaders began to question if they had underestimated Earth. The mocking laughter had died, replaced by fear and anger. One alien elder whispered, "These humans, they are different. Fight with something more than weapons. Fight with spirit." That spirit, that fierce fire inside humans, was a force no alien had expected. The war was no longer just about machines and weapons. It had become a battle of wills. The alien armada, once so sure of their power, now faced something they could not understand: the human spirit. For the aliens, it was a mystery that baffled their most brilliant minds. How could a species so primitive, so mocked, fight back with such fierce courage? What was this strange force that pushed humans to keep rising no matter how many times they fell? On Earth, the story of the war was not only told in battles and victories, but in the lives of those who fought and those who waited, the people. Behind the weapons, the soldiers, the scientists, the families, all became part of the great story of survival. And at its heart was the human spirit, glowing brighter than any energy shield or laser weapon Captain Elena Reyes had become. More than a soldier, she was a symbol, the voice of hope and courage for millions. She remembered the first days of the war, when fear had ruled the hearts of many. But now, even as the skies burned with alien fire, humans refused to break. Her squadron's base was hidden deep underground beneath the ruins of a city that once thrived. There, Alina met soldiers who had lost everything but still fought on. There was Marcus, a young pilot who had watched his family's home destroyed by an alien strike. He carried the pain in his eyes, but also a quiet determination. "They took everything," he said once. but they won't take my fight. There was Dr. Amina, a scientist whose research on energy weapons had helped turn the tide. She worked tirelessly day and night, repairing broken machines and inventing new tools for battle. Every invention is a step toward freedom. She told Alina, "We fight not just for survival, but for a future." Outside the war rooms, ordinary people showed courage in small but powerful ways. Civilians helped rescue the wounded, shared food with refugees, and rebuilt homes destroyed by the alien bombardments. Children painted hopeful murals on ruined walls. Artists wrote songs about the war, songs of loss, hope, and fire. This was a new kind of war, one fought not only with weapons, but with hearts and minds. The aliens could destroy buildings and ships, but they could not destroy the hope that held humanity together. Far above, in the dark command chambers of the alien warlords, the mood was tense. Lord Zarthan paced with growing frustration. "Why do they not break?" he demanded. "Their weapons are weak, their ships are fragile, yet they fight as if possessed." Zarkthal, the ruthless warlord, stared at the glowing hologram. "Of Earth's defenders, it is their spirit," he said quietly. "They have something we do not, something we cannot kill." The aliens began to study human behavior more closely. They sent spies disguised in human form to observe cities and military bases. But the more they learned, the more confused they became. Humans cared for each other, helped strangers, and believed in a future worth fighting for. They had families, dreams, and a stubborn will that refused to give up. This was not a race of mindless warriors. The species bound by love and hope, feelings aliens could barely understand. Alina watched the war from her ship's cockpit, her mind filled with memories. She remembered the early battles, the fear, the loss, and the desperate fight to survive. But she also saw the strength that had grown since then. Her squadron had become a family, bound by trust and courage. One night, during a break in fighting, Alina stood on the surface of a damaged city with Marcus. The sky was dark, filled with stars and the distant glow of alien ships. "Do you ever wonder why they hate us so much?" Marcus asked softly. Alina looked at the stars and replied, "Because we refuse to be what they expect. They mocked us as weak, but we showed them fire. We fight not just with weapons, but with heart, and that scares them." The war was far from over. The alien fleet still had power, still struck hard and fast. But the human resistance had grown stronger, smarter, and more united. Every day brought new challenges, but also new victories in secret bases. Scientists raced to unlock more secrets from captured alien technology. They worked to build better shields, faster ships, and weapons that could turn the tide. Every failure was a lesson. Every success was a beacon of hope. The story of humanity's spirit spread beyond Earth, reaching friendly alien factions who had once doubted humans. These allies offered help ships, supplies, and knowledge, and slowly the tide of war began to shift. Back in the Alien Council, whispers of doubt grew louder. "Perhaps we underestimated them," one elder admitted. "They fight not because of strength alone, but because of something deeper." But Lord Zarthan refused to believe defeat. "We will break them," he vowed, one way or another. As the war raged on, humanity's answer was clear. No matter the odds, no matter the fire and destruction, they would not bow. They would not surrender. Their spirit, stronger than any weapon, would carry them through, and the galaxy would soon learn that mocking Earth was the greatest mistake they ever made. The war above, Earth had reached a terrifying new level. The alien warlord Zark Thul was furious after the repeated losses his fleet suffered at the hands of humanity's hidden strength. He did not just want to win. He wanted to crush every spark of resistance, to teach the humans a lesson they would never forget. With cold precision, he planned a surprise attack unlike any before. Designed to break the spirit of Earth's defenders once and for all, the attack came swiftly. Without warning, massive energy blasts tore through the atmosphere. Cities burned beneath the dark skies, and millions fled in panic. The alien fleet unleashed destruction on a scale Earth had never seen. For many, it felt as though the end was near. Yet even in the face of such overwhelming power, humanity refused to crumble. The people had learned to adapt quickly to survive. By any means necessary, where large cities fell, hidden underground bunkers and secret bases continued the fight. Civilians banded together to protect what was left, turning ruined streets into battlegrounds and safe havens. In these shadows, a new kind of warfare took shape. Guerrilla tactics that confused and frustrated the alien invaders, like small groups of soldiers and volunteers struck hard and disappeared before the aliens could respond. They used their knowledge of Earth's terrain, their courage, and new experimental technology to even the odds. Captain Elena Reyes led one such unit. Her squad moved through the ruins with precision and care, striking alien supply lines and communications hubs. Though their numbers were small, their impact was huge. Each successful mission weakened the enemy and lifted the spirits of the people below. At the same time, a surprising development shook the war. Minor alien factions, who had long been overshadowed by the dominant council, began to see humanity in a new light. Some of these groups respected the humans' tenacity and courage, qualities they themselves valued deeply. Quietly, they began offering help. Ships filled with supplies, intelligence, and weapons slipped past the Council's blockade and reached Earth's resistance fighters. These unexpected alliances gave humanity new hope and strength. It showed that Earth was not alone in the galaxy's dark conflict, but the alien council saw these alliances as a betrayal and responded with brutal force. They launched relentless attacks against the factions that dared help Earth, trying to crush them quickly. The galaxy's political landscape grew more chaotic, and war spread beyond Earth's skies. Despite this, humans pressed on. Scientists studied alien technology captured in battle, unlocking secrets that allowed rapid improvements in defenses and weapons. Every captured ship was a treasure trove of knowledge. Engineers adapted alien designs, turning once impossible ideas into reality. The humans' guerrilla fighters became legends. Tales of their courage spread through cities and underground shelters. Ordinary people found strength in these stories. Even children dreamed of the day when Earth would be free from the alien shadow. During one daring mission, Elena's squadron discovered an abandoned alien weapon depot. Inside were strange devices pulsing with energy far beyond Earth's current technology. The squad carefully secured the site and rushed the materials to scientists eager to study them. With these new resources, Earth's defenses grew stronger. Shield generators were boosted to withstand heavier attacks. Fighters gained weapons capable of piercing the aliens' toughest armor. Every victory, no matter how small, was a step toward survival and toward turning the tide. The battle for Earth was far from over. Zarkthel's surprise attack had caused devastation, but it had also awakened a fierce resistance that no alien power could ignore. The war was no longer just about destruction. It was about survival, honor, and hope in hidden command centers. Beneath the Earth's surface, leaders prepared for the next phase of the fight. Plans were made to strike back hard, to take the battle to the enemy's doorstep. The time was coming when humanity would stop running and start winning. Elena stood before her squadron, her voice steady and strong. "We fight not just for ourselves," she said, "but for every person who looks to the stars and believes in a better future."
Wow.
They mocked us as weak, but they will learn that Earth burns with a fire they cannot put out.
The galaxy watched.
In stunned silence, as Earth's warriors prepared to rise again, the mockery of the aliens had sparked a firestorm of resistance, one fueled by courage, unity, and the fierce will to survive. And this fire was only just beginning. The war that had started as a cruel joke for the aliens had become the galaxy's fiercest battle. Earth, once mocked as weak and backward, was now a force the alien armada feared. The final clash was near. Both sides knew it would decide the fate of humanity and the balance of power in the galaxy. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge of the flagship Phoenix, her eyes fixed on the vast alien fleet gathering at the edge of the solar system. Thousands of ships, each larger and deadlier than the last, stretched across space like an endless black storm. The alien leaders, wounded by repeated defeats, had united their forces for one last desperate strike against Earth. Alina felt the weight of history on her shoulders. The fate of billions rested on this battle, but she was not alone. Behind her, the fleet of human ships buzzed with energy, each crew ready to fight with everything they had. Their weapons were sharper, their tactics smarter, and their spirits unbreakable. The first wave of the battle erupted with thunder. Energy beams screamed through space, colliding in bursts of light and fire. Human ships dodged and weaved, striking where the alien defenses were weakest. Cloaked fighters slipped through the chaos, disabling enemy ships with precise strikes. The AI drones coordinated attacks, predicting enemy moves faster than any alien pilot. The aliens fought fiercely, their weapons tearing through many human ships. But the tide was turning. The humans' fierce spirit and clever strategy surprised even their most experienced foes. They fought not just with weapons, but with unity and hope. In the thick of the battle, Lena led her squadron toward the alien command ship, the heart of the enemy's power. It was heavily guarded, surrounded by smaller cruisers and a shield that seemed unbreakable. But Alina had a plan. Using their latest technology, her squad would create a distraction, while a smaller team slipped inside to disable the shield generator. The attack was daring and dangerous. Explosions rocked the fleet as the distraction squad fought desperately to hold the enemy's attention. Meanwhile, Alina and her elite pilots moved through enemy lines. Cloaked and silent inside the alien command ship, they faced fierce resistance. Alien soldiers fought with deadly skill, but the humans pressed forward. They reached the shield generator and planted explosive charges. The countdown began. Outside, the distraction squad held firm, buying precious time. Then, with a roar, the shield collapsed. Alina's team struck hard, firing their energy weapons at the exposed command ship. Beams pierced the hull, crippling the alien leadership's flagship. The command ship began to break apart, sending shockwaves through the alien fleet. Out their leader, chaos spread. Ships collided, weapons malfunctioned, and alien morale shattered. The humans seized the moment. They pushed forward with unstoppable force. The alien armada, once proud and powerful, was breaking. From his shattered command seat, Lord Zarthan watched in disbelief. His mocking laughter was gone, replaced by rage and despair. "How can they fight so fiercely?" he whispered. "What power drives them?" The answer was clear: humanity's spirit. It was a fire no weapon could destroy. As the battle ended, the human fleet stood victorious. But the cost was high. Many brave souls had fallen, and Earth's surface bore deep scars. They had defended their home and shattered the myth of alien invincibility. The galaxy now knew Earth was no longer a planet to mock. It was a power to respect, to fear. Alina looked at the stars, knowing this was just the beginning. The war had changed humanity forever. They had answered mockery with fire, and they would never stop fighting for their place in the universe. The battle was over. The alien armada that had mocked Earth laughed at its people and came to conquer was shattered. The skies above the blue planet were finally quiet, but the silence was heavy with loss and the weight of what had been fought for. Earth's cities lay in ruins. Millions of lives had been lost beneath the broken surface. A new strength was rising, a strength born not only from weapons and technology, but from the human spirit itself. Captain Alina Reyes stood on a ridge overlooking a city slowly waking from its nightmare. Fire still burned in some places, but people were already returning to the streets. There was work to do, a planet to rebuild, a future to create. Elena's heart was heavy with grief, but filled with hope. She had seen humanity at its worst and its best. They had been mocked, threatened, and almost destroyed, but they had survived. And they had fought back with a fire no enemy could snuff out. The alien leaders who had once laughed at Earth now came to the negotiating table. Broken and defeated, they sought peace. The Galactic Council sent envoys to Earth asking for talks. For forgiveness, for a chance to rebuild what their war had destroyed. The humans faced a choice unlike any before. Could they forgive those who had tried to wipe them out? Could they trust these alien races again? In secret halls and crowded meeting rooms, the leaders of Earth debated fiercely. Some wanted harsh punishment, others hoped for peace and rebuilding. But all agreed on one thing: Earth would never be weak again. It would defend their home and their people, no matter the cost. Alina listened quietly. She had fought for survival, but now she fought for the future. "We can build a galaxy where no one mocks us again," she said. "But we must be ready. We must be strong. Not just in weapons, but in spirit." The human scientists and engineers worked tirelessly. The war had accelerated their technology by decades. New ships, stronger shields, and advanced AI were no longer secrets. Earth was ready to take its place among the galaxy's great powers. At the same time, the people of Earth healed, families reunited, communities rebuilt, and hope returned. Songs of victory and sorrow filled the air. Stories of courage inspired children who would grow up knowing they were part of something greater and far beyond Earth. The galaxy watched with new respect. Aliens who had once dismissed humans now sought alliances. Some feared the fire that burned within this small blue planet. Others admired it. Alina stood once more on the ridge, looking at the stars. The war had changed everything. It had shown the universe that humanity was no longer to be mocked. Earth's answer to fire had lit a flame that would never go out. The future was uncertain. Challenges would come. New threats might arise. But humanity had learned a truth deeper than any technology or weapon. The true power was within themselves. And as long as that fire burned, Earth would stand tall, unbroken, and unbowed, ready to face whatever the stars would bring.